So I see Lemuel Plummer, or Lemon Pepper as y'all call him, is up on X spewing lies. But let me tell you something. Never trust tweets, only trust receipts. I'm about to break down for you the entire situation when it comes to Zeus ownership. I get a call from a good friend of mine, Lemuel Morris. Congrats on your Emmy, by the way, my brother. Lemuel tells me that he has a colleague named Lemuel Plummer who wants to meet with me about starting a social network. His pitch was he wanted to start a black Netflix for influencers and call it the Social Network, which was already a Facebook movie, by the way. He offered me a good amount of equity in the company and said he was going to look out for Lemuel for connecting us. He never looked out for Lemuel. Now, at the time, I had the biggest series on the internet called the Caught series.
Wait, baby, don't do that, no.
At over 500 million views, it was nominated for an Emmy, 4 Streamies, winning 2. Then Lemmy asked me, are there any other influencers I could bring on as partners because we needed some heavy hitters in social media for this thing to work. I said, how about I reach out to another longtime friend of mine, King Bach. He had the numbers. Lemmy agreed. Batch agreed to join. Lemmy said we need one more partner, some diversity. So Batch reached out to Jake Paul, but Jake was working on another project and said, I'll at least give y'all an episode on round 1.
Welcome to the Taj Mahal.
Then Batch said, what about another good friend of ours, Amanda Cerny? She was getting millions of views, making millions of dollars off of brand deals. We all agreed. Now at this point, I broke down my equity so myself, Batch, and Amanda could have even equity across the board, and we all became co-founders.
I met with DeStorm, King Batch, and Amanda Cerny, who were pretty big influencers.
Yes.
And we ended up, I brought them on board.
Lemmy was supposed to be behind the scenes as the CEO, and the 3 of us were to be the face of the network, myself as the president. In the coming weeks, we started a group chat, and the founders came up with a new name for the social network. Some of the names was trash. Then one day I thought, wait, Nike was a Greek god. They were successful with their shoe and apparel line. Why don't we name ourselves after a Greek god? Let's be Zeus. So then Amanda's like, I had a dog named Zeus. Shoot, I like it.
DeStorm actually came up with the name Zeus. We were strategizing and talking about different names.
So then became the Zeus Network. In our operating agreement, Lemmy's job was to put up the money for the first round of content, which he'd get back soon as we launched. Myself, Batch, and Amanda's job was to use our audience and our face and our likeness to blow up the company and give it a legitimate name. Lemmy's like, look guys, I'm a nobody, and you guys have the influence and celebrity to make this work. So that summer, we went hard as hell.
Zeus just came out today. You on this book. Nigga, you gonna die. At what point did you hear me say Zeus, man?
When you looked at me and said,
My job was also to go out and find as many creators as possible so that we could have enough content to live on the platform when it launched. To drive the necessary traffic to the platform, the flagship shows would be Batch, Amanda, and I also agreed to put season 2 of Caught onto Zeus. Shit, I even called in a favor from Uncle Snoop to pop up in the series, and he looked out for me.
Let's hear some power.
Strike 1. You've been watching too much Zeus, nephew.
And then we spoke to 25 other creators who are also friends of ours and told them we'll give them a free series on Zeus if they promote the app. Let me promise all of them that they would get a percentage of the subscriptions. They didn't get a dime. So approaching the launch of Zeus, Lemmy calls me up crying, talking about the whole network about to go under because I ran out of money. I physically went into the office that entire summer and edited 4 series for Zeus. Then I put up $135,000 of my own money, paying for Bad Escorts, Caught Season 2, and 4 other creative series. Now, bear in mind, contractually, we weren't supposed to put up any money. But Lemmy said, I'm going to pay you back as soon as Zeus launches and we're profitable. Now, every show on Zeus has music in the background, but keep in mind, we had no more budget for music. So I called in another favor from my good friend Tommy Brown and Franks, and I said, yo, we need beats for Zeus. They done produced everything from Ariana Grande to Justin Bieber. Tommy gave us over 1,000 beats with a promise from Lemmy that they'd get paid back once Zeus was profitable. They never got paid. We understood that Zeus couldn't just be successful in social media, and we needed a partner in traditional media. So I talked to my boy Fonz, and he links me with Tiffany, who works at SAG-AFTRA. Zeus ended up signing a historic deal as the first social platform to partner with SAG-AFTRA. And because of this partnership, I was also able to get a lot of the creators and actors their SAG card because they had shows and series on Zeus. And Lemmy ended up stabbing SAG-AFTRA in the back, by the way. This is why I say don't trust tweets, only trust receipts. Let's keep it going. Now, since Zeus was a new platform and app, there was a lot of bugs that needed fixing. Now, our original tech partner, Nick, warned Lemmy that there was going to be some bugs and problems on launch day. But Lemmy ain't listen for shit. With his Napoleon complex, him and Nick used to get into it. So we throw this big ass launch party in LA. We had ice sculptures, DJs, red carpet, big screens. Amanda bit the bullet and did this big ass deal with Diageo for half her rate so we could have Ciroc as a sponsor. We was in it.
It came together. We're doing our pre-launch party, so coming out July 13th. I'm super stoked.
On launch day, all the creators who had a show on the platform promoted the hell out of Zeus. And over 45,000 people joined the platform that day. So now we on Easy Street. Until the next day we get a call from our tech partner, Nick, who said there was a glitch in the system and everybody got into Zeus for free. We had to boot everybody out of Zeus and ask them to rejoin for the subscription price. And if you know anything about people, they ain't paying for shit after they got it for free. So the first round of Zeus was a wash. We had to scramble and come up with a plan for round 2 with no money. Then King Bach comes in clutch and saves the day and brings in our 5th partner, a silent investor named Ben Koo, who put up the funds we needed for round 2. On round 2, we changed up the plan and we used the funds from Ben Koo to make longer form content. Amanda secured Lil Tay, who was huge at the time. Bat secured B. Simone, who was huge at the time. I secured Quay, who was huge at the time. And Lemmy secured Michael Blackson. Those shows with TT being the flagship gave us enough subscribers and enough income to make it to the next season for even bigger shows. Now, Lemmy controlled all the money at Zeus. And at this point, myself, Batch, and Amanda were pushed out while Lemmy's taking these interviews acting like he did it all by himself.
But you did have partners. She did have partners. What happened to them niggas?
You tell me.
Man, I'll Google this shit. Stop it, man. No, I remember seeing them.
You tell me.
So you bought them out, right?
You tell me what happened to these guys.
No, King Bach. Yeah. So King Bach, Amanda Cerny. That's what I was like. That's when they were lit.
Yeah, like I said, I created Zeus. I ended up investing my own capital. They didn't put in any money. They didn't do anything.
He seized all the Zeus accounts, got himself all this heavy security, and started spewing lies.
I thought they would bring some value, bring some money to the table, and do their thing, and they did.
Let me tell you something. Anybody who needs that kind of security is either super famous or did a lot of people dirty.
Part of what makes this whole platform special is, yes, you guys are partners and owners with me in this. And what you bring to the table, like you said, is relationships. People would not do this if it wasn't because of you and King Batch and Amanda.
Now, when you have a successful company like Zeus, you do something called partner payouts. Lemmy pays himself, but never pays his partners. To be totally transparent, we had a falling out because a good friend of ours, who is now a successful Latin artist and used to be Lemmy's assistant, told us that he sexually assaulted her. Till this day, myself, Batch, and Amanda, we receive K1 tax documents stating that we make millions of dollars from the Zeus network as partners. So we're paying taxes on money that we never received. So while Lemuel Plummer walks through Paris with 5 security guards and designer clothes and purchases, let me just read this, new home, RVs.
Lemmy done bought me a truck for my birthday.
The Zeus network bought you.
Zeus bought it.
Cybertrucks, cars, jewelry, and he's giving out bags to everybody who walks through Zeus's door. The partners who initially kept the lights on and made Zeus what it is today received nothing. Don't let the internet and lemon pepper fool you. We put them on. This guy's a fraud. I had a call a few years back with Lemmy and a Jason Tobert, who's also works there and is too cowardly to say something because he was on the phone call. And Lemmy is like, you guys are fucking losers. I'm going to drag this case until you all broke. Zeus is worth $1 billion. You can't beat the machine. You'll never beat Zeus. And he's been dragging it. We spent over $1 million on lawyers already. Oh, they're not even part of the company. We have to sit up there and prove that he's on some bullshit. So we'll spend 3 months and a couple $100,000 just to prove that he's telling another fucking lie. We've been literally fighting this dude in court for 2 years, y'all. I found out that Zeus has multiple lawsuits that Lemmy done settled behind our backs. And when you hear all these women on TikTok or you hear Ray J going off and shit.
To all the women that's going through this with Lemmy and going through this with Zeus, like, we hear you and we're gonna help you.
We're gonna stay in this room for 3 to 4 hours until you do what I tell you to do.
I don't f with that.
Why not? Wait. You worked with him
he's
before?
like the black Harvey Weinstein.
So while Lemmy flies on his private jets and throws out money to crowds off of a career full of lies, keep in mind that if he can do this to his partners, imagine what he would do to someone who is not. Anyway, y'all, this has been my TED Talk. I just wanted to explain to y'all the ownership of the Zeus network, and you're looking at the fucking president.